Researchers gathered at this Washington University to share information about how to curb the participation of women in violent extremism.
We're really looking at the conditions, the tools, the group, the ideology, all of these factors and how they can intersect with gender, especially in the mobilization and recruitment, and of course the policy.
Using Boko Haram terror group as an example, Hilary Matfis, a PhD student at Yale University, said socioeconomic factors are at the forefront of the current debate.
As I mentioned, access to education, because Boko Haram does do chronic preaching on a daily or near daily basis. Women also joined because the bride price that they would receive in exchange for marriage, while lower than the regular bride price, would be paid directly to them.
Some in the panel suggested that although indoctrination by male relatives may be a factor, which was the case in California's San Bernardino terror attack in 2015, it is not the sole reason behind why women join terror groups.
It's important to ask the question, which feminism is driving this conversation? Okay. Which agency are you looking at? The majority of questions of agency create a context in which we're only willing to see a woman whose struggle is against male domination.
And that practice of only treating women as victims leads to the adoption of ineffective policies to tackle the issue.
Right now, the U.S. government's policies, programs shaped around de-radicalization, reintegration, either do not even acknowledge that there are female fighters who should benefit from the de-radicalization, reintegration, accountability, etc. efforts.
As attackers.
Christy Schindler, an intelligence analyst at the National Counterterrorism Center, believes that emergence of new terror groups, such as the Islamic State, has also changed the rules of women in terror groups.
And so what I think ISIS has done is sort of push the narrative. So you see a lot of the propaganda, particularly coming out of Syria and Iraq. Women have evolved beyond just sort of wives and mothers.
De-radicalization efforts usually focus on men. However, a 2017 study by Counter Extremism Project, a New York-based think tank following extremism around the world, found that women and girls recruited by the Islamic State from Europe, North America, Australia, and Africa comprise between 10 to 40% of the terror group's fighters. Nisan, Ahmado, VOA News, Washington.